Hello and welcome to the first in a long series of video inspirations. Hopefully that light's not in the way. Hang on a minute. Alright. Anyway, my name's Daryl, and I want to share with you part of a journey I'm going on, and also want to offer to share with you also a mentoring course that I'm involved in. I want to start with just right off the bat first. Why I started with the cover of that magazine. After crossing the half-century mark and realizing that I'm surviving, I'm doing okay, but I can do far better, and I want better. I have to not just re-educate myself, but I have to look at myself and my relation to, the things I want in the world differently. Which brings me to this right here. This is the front cover of Life magazine, July of 1994. I'm going to scroll down it a little bit here. Okay, here we go. It reads Life magazine, Brain Calisthenics. And I actually have the physical copy in storage, but this is an online facsimile of the front cover, and it reads, neuroscientists explore the benefits of brain calisthenics, how you can think faster, improve your memory, and defend against Alzheimer's. And it gives a little CGI imagery of the brain and X-ray there, and that's Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis in the cover. She doesn't really have anything to do with the article. She's in the magazine. But the main thing I want to focus on is changing the brain and changing, how we think. And because I'm over a half-century years old, but I'm still changing, I'm still evolving, and I'm still learning how to do different things. In fact, right now I am involved in, perhaps you've heard of Ty Lopez's 5-minute mentor course. But Ty Lopez is an online entrepreneur. He is an investor. In fact, at this recording, he just recently bought the business Pure One Imports, and I remember Pure One both as a teenager and as a young adult. But he actually owns several businesses, and he owns different media platforms and whatnot. He's doing exceptionally well, so much so that he has a mansion in California and a couple of farms. A mansion in California on the West Coast, and a couple of farms on the East Coast. And from time to time he goes back and forth. Oh, and he sometimes goes to London and other parts of the world, just to get out, which is good for the brain. And in his course, 5-Minute Mentor, I've only been in it now for about 2 weeks. I'm going through the courses, the lessons, a whole lot quicker than I thought I was. And because, not just because I'm enjoying them, but because they are bite-sized lessons, and he offers a lot of great content in it. And so much so that what it did for me was, not only is it making my mind, more, it's helping me to transition my mind from being a blue-collar worker to more white-collar work, or white-collar status. It inspired me to share what I've been doing, and what has sustained me over the years of my young adult life, and what has made me successful, and has kept me, has really kept me as a man, and as a prosperous, as a successful citizen. But I want even more success. But the brain, I'll give a little bit about this because I read the article. This was 1994. Neuroscientists explored the benefits of brain calisthenics. If it was before this article came out, before 1994, for neuroscientists, that is, scientists who study the brain, it would have been a career suicide to say that the brain could change, because up until this moment, it was widely believed around the world that that the brain could not change, that the brain could not, if we were stuck with our brains, with but there's a science called neuroplasticity, and you can Google it. It's a real science. Neuroplasticity, by exercising different parts of the brain, we can change how we think, and not just crossword puzzles and bingo and different different games that we often associate with the elderly to change to keep the brain fit. No, we're learning a new language, learning the skill of painting, learning how to swim, just doing a lot of things. I juggle. In fact, at some point, I'm holding the camera right now, so I can't juggle for you. Juggling can exercise and keep the brain sharp, and even change the neurology of the brain. But as we grow older, it is important to keep our brains not just fit, but realizing we're not stuck with our brains. I'm not stuck with I've got a lot of skill doing manual labor. I was a soldier in the Army infantry, and that's a great deal of manual labor. It's more of that than anything else. But you got to use common sense too. My whole point of this video is I'm in the process through Ty Lopez's 5-minute mentor courses, and also through his 67 steps, the courses that he offers on his website. I am changing the neurology of my brain just as he changed his. I have one video that I posted that made me aware of what he does for a living. You see him with his nice fancy cars in his mansion in California, but the really thing that grabbed my attention more than anything else, those who know me, was his bookshelf full of books. That was what did it for me. And I am going back to my my old habit of reading, just books, books. Oh, I also do yoga too. But anyway, I wanted to share that with you because you can change your brain. You're not just stuck with it. Like I'm a little bit over 50, and I'm changing my brain. But you can change your brain at any age. It's not too late. As a matter of fact, in the magazine, in discussing brain calisthenics, it also talked about. There's an article in there about a bunch of nuns who, at a monastery, or not monastery, but at a convent. They were over 90 years old. Many of them were over 90 years old, and their brains were still sharp, as if they were in their 20s and 30s. And also, the nuns that had died and had they passed their brains on to science, and the scientist that was in there who studied them, he examined their brains, and he saw that there was very little signs of dementia or even Alzheimer's. That's about the Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's was just beginning to form in their 90s. Why? Because it didn't take over. And the reason why Alzheimer's disease didn't take over their 90-year-old brains was because the nuns kept themselves mentally active. And I mean, it's amazing. If you can get a copy, like I said, I have my own copy. This was back in 1994. I was a real young man back then, but I have my copy. Life Magazine, Brain Calisthenics, 1994. But in closing, I just want to share, you are not stuck with your brain. There is hope. I'm going to talk more in depth in later videos, but just as Ty Lopez is sharing, I'm in his course, he's given me some wisdom and life lessons to help me be successful in the white collar quadrant of living. I'm passing this on too. In fact, I want to dedicate this video, this very first video, to two people. Ty Lopez, obviously, because he re-inspired me to share, and my Aunt Joanne. Aunt Joanne. Years ago, I did a post on Facebook. I was sharing the story. I was sharing a story about billionaire Ted Turner, and how even this billionaire, he was going through a revolving door one day in the city, and he looked on the ground and he saw a dime. This billionaire now, almost injured himself trying to get the dime in the revolving door. And I'll never forget my Aunt Joanne. She liked that. She liked, that I shared that story, and she said I ought to do more. I ought to do more. Well, here we are, Aunt Joanne. Thanks to you, because you liked the story, and because with Ty Lopez's his courses, I'm reinvigorated now. I'm reinvigorated to share things that could benefit somebody else's life, just as Ty Lopez is sharing with me. I'm in his courses now, so thank you both. And in fact, I'm gonna put the link to his courses below in the video. You might I'm still working with YouTube. You might have to copy and paste it and post it, but the link will be there. And it's his 5-minute mentor course, and it's also his 67 steps. I'm in both of them, and I'm enjoying them and getting a lot out of them. So check those out. Check out his courses, and hope you enjoy it. Hope you enjoyed this video, and leave a like and a comment below.